Welcome, wanderers and dreamweavers, to another chapter in our shared storybook. I'm your narrator through these tales of wonder where words paint worlds and imagination knows no bounds. Whether you're settling in with your morning coffee or winding down under starlight, you've found your home for stories that linger long after the screen goes dark. So dim the lights, quiet your thoughts, and let's turn the page together on today's tale. Some say that true adventure isn't about the destination, but the journey. For Alexandra Blackwood, it would prove to be both. This is the tale of one woman's quest to find the impossible, a city that vanished from history, a civilization that defied explanation, and a truth that would change our understanding of humanity forever. The Amazon rainforest stretched below like an endless emerald sea as Alexandra's helicopter hovered above the canopy. At 34, she had already redefined the field of archaeological anthropology with discoveries that challenged conventional wisdom. But this expedition was different. This was personal. In her hands, Alexandra held her grandfather's journal, the final record of renowned explorer William Blackwood, who vanished 50 years ago while searching for the mythical city of Zephyr. A civilization said to have harnessed the power of wind and air to create technological marvels that shouldn't have been possible for their time. Pilot, we're as close as I can get you. Any lower and we risk hitting the canopy. Alexandra, the research team will rendezvous at the base camp in 3 days. If I'm not back in 2 weeks. Pilot, we come looking. Though what we'd find in this green hell is anybody's guess. The descent through the layered canopy was like traveling through time itself, from the sun-drenched upper leaves to the primordial twilight of the forest floor. Alexandra landed with practiced precision, immediately unclipping from the line and signaling the helicopter. Alone now, Alexandra oriented herself using her grandfather's meticulous notes. According to his calculations, the lost city of Zephyr should be approximately 40 miles northeast, hidden within a valley that conventional satellite imaging couldn't penetrate due to unusual electromagnetic disturbances. The first day passed in a blur of heat, humidity, and the constant battle against the jungle's attempt to reclaim every inch of cleared path. Alexandra documented everything in her recorder. Alexandra, Day 1. Following the course of an unnamed tributary that matches grandfather's description. The flora here is unusually vibrant. Specimens twice the size they should be. Something in the soil, perhaps? Taking samples for later analysis? What Alexandra didn't record was the growing sensation of being watched. Eyes that followed her progress from the shadows between trees. The jungle had its guardians, and they were taking note of the intruder. On the morning of the third day, Alexandra encountered the first sign that her grandfather's delusions, as his colleagues had called them, might be founded in reality, a stone marker half buried in the earth, carved with symbols that matched no known ancient language. Alexandra, incredible, these matched the drawings in grandfather's journal exactly. The marker was just the beginning. As Alexandra pushed deeper into uncharted territory, more evidence emerged, stone pillars with the same wind spiral motifs. Fragments of a metal unknown to modern science, lightweight yet stronger than titanium, with an iridescent blue sheen that seemed to capture and reflect light in impossible ways. By the fifth day, the jungle began to change. The trees grew taller, their trunks spiraling in a pattern that couldn't be natural. The air carried a subtle vibration like the hum of distant machinery. Alexandra, Day 5. The jungle itself seems to be engineered. The trees aren't just growing, they're constructed as if designed to channel air currents in specific patterns. The Zephyrians weren't just living in harmony with nature, they were reshaping it. On the seventh day, disaster struck. A sudden torrential downpour transformed the gentle tributary into a raging river. Alexandra's carefully plotted path disappeared under a flood of mud and debris. The ground beneath her gave way without warning. Alexandra tumbled down a newly formed ravine, desperately grabbing at roots and vines to slow her descent. For anyone else, this would have been the end of the expedition. But Alexandra Blackwood was not anyone else. With a fractured ankle and dwindling supplies, Alexandra fashioned a walking stick from a fallen branch and continued on, using her grandfather's journal as her only guide. The pain was excruciating, but something drove her forward, a certainty that she was close. Night fell, and with no dry wood for a fire, Alexandra huddled beneath the massive leaves of a philodendron, shivering as the temperature dropped. It was then that she noticed something strange. A faint blue glow emanating from the ground itself, visible only in complete darkness. Alexandra. Bioluminescent fungi? Alexandra watched in astonishment as the glowing pattern revealed itself to be a path. A road of light cutting through the darkness of the jungle. It was a sign, meant for those who knew how to see it. The luminescent path led her through the night, up an incline that grew increasingly steep. By dawn, Alexandra had climbed higher than should have been possible with her injury, driven by a combination of adrenaline and sheer will. As the sun broke over the horizon, Alexandra crested the ridge and found herself looking down into a valley hidden from the world. And there it was. Zephyr, Alexandra, I found it. Grandfather, I found it. In that moment, Alexandra understood. Her grandfather hadn't vanished. He had found what he was looking for and chosen to stay. The journal she carried was not his last record, but his invitation to the one person he believed would follow his path. The elder placed her grandfather's true final journal in her hands. Inside were decades of observations, discoveries, and technologies that would revolutionize human understanding of sustainable energy, architecture, and harmonious existence with nature. Elder, he knew you would come. The question now, Alexandra Blackwood, is what will you do with what you have found? Will you bring the outside world to our doorstep, or will you help us share our knowledge in ways that will not lead to our destruction? Alexandra, I want to learn everything you can teach me, everything he learned. And then, together, we'll decide what the world is ready to know. Alexandra Blackwood disappeared from the scientific community that year, just as her grandfather had before her. The research team found no trace beyond a cryptic message left at the base camp. Some discoveries aren't meant to be rushed. I'll return when the world is ready. 5 years later, revolutionary new technologies began emerging from a previously unknown foundation: clean energy systems that harnessed the power of air currents, architectural designs that worked with nature rather than against it, medical treatments derived from plants found only in one secluded valley of the Amazon. And occasionally, if you knew where to look, you might spot a woman with familiar, determined eyes overseeing the implementation of these world-changing innovations. A woman who carried the knowledge of Zephyr and the responsibility to share it wisely. For Alexandra Blackwood had discovered that the greatest adventure isn't finding a lost city. It's building a better future with the wisdom of the past. Until next time, remember that life's too short for boring content. If this video added a spark to your day, hit that subscribe button and join our growing curiosity club. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and I'll meet you right back here for another adventure. Stay legendary.